So to start this video off, I'd just like to mention that trim will only work on SSDs that natively support trim. So just check before you buy an SSD or anything like that, or you go to try and enable trim, that the drive itself actually supports it. Anyways, I'm just gonna kind of go over what trim is a little bit, and at the end I'll give some examples. So trim prevents degradation of the drive over time, which in turn increases performance and drive longevity. Trim is a feature that allows your OS to know which blocks of data are no longer in use, and that those blocks of data can safely be wiped out and writable again. Having trim enabled improves performance because the drive doesn't have to waste time erasing a particular block when space is needed to store the new data. Using the trim command essentially reduces the amount of data an SSD needs to move during the garbage collection process, which in turn reduces the number of erase cycles, prolonging the life of the drive itself. By utilizing trim, the drive avoids unnecessary copying of invalid data, which speeds up your write speed. And just note that if you have an Apple branded drive, trim support is actually enabled by default, so that's not something you have to worry about on your Apple computer. So now I'm just going to kind of show you an example using Microsoft Word. So basically when you delete a file and you want to rewrite that space, the drive is actually deleting the file and then writes to it, which takes up one cycle. So here, notice how I'm deleting because I want to type something different. This is your drive without trim enabled. So notice I had to erase and then I could write. With trim enabled, it's basically like telling your drive, hey, that bit isn't there anymore, so you can just write over it. So it basically clears it out of the way right away. So it allows you to write the data without first removing it. So this is going to be another. So this is your computer with trim support enabled. Notice how I didn't have to erase first. I was just able to go right over the top of it. That's basically what trim is doing. It just writes over those unused blocks or bits without having to erase first, because it already knows they're not in use and it's invalid. So moving forward, we're gonna basically go through and I'm gonna show you guys how to enable trim support on an Apple computer and how to check if it's enabled in the first place. Okay, so to begin with, you're gonna wanna go ahead and click the Apple logo about this Mac, System Report, and then you're gonna go to SATA Express. Notice this is my main drive. It's going to be a Samsung 860 EVO 500 gig, and you're going to check to see if you have trim support enabled. Right here, it says no. If it says yes, you can go ahead and stop the video. You don't need to continue any further. Now, if it says no, you're going to go over to Finder. You're going to go to Terminal. And you're going to type this. It's going to be sudo trimforce is one word, enable. Then you're going to hit enter. It's going to request your password. So you type your password in. You're not going to see anything. That's completely normal. So after you type your password, you just hit enter. You can read all of that. I don't read it. I know what I'm doing. Are you sure you want to proceed? Yes. The system will immediately reboot when this is complete. So you're going to do yes again. However, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to cut the video right here just because it's going to restart. So I will see you guys as soon as I'm rebooted. Okay, so after you're back in, it's gonna open up all the windows you had previously opened. So you can see here, it's restored. Not important, go ahead and close out of there. We're gonna go back to About This Mac. System report. And then we're gonna go back to SATA Express. Check out our drive. And boom, there it is. Trim support, yes. So now trim support is successfully enabled.